15 Days Practice for IELTS Listening. Brought to you by Knowledge Island by Bilal.
Day 9. Matching 1.
Listen to the introduction about Tower Bridge and complete the summary. Use words or phrases from the box. There are more words in the box than you need. First, you have some time to read the questions. Now, listen to the talk.
Tower Bridge is located in one of the most interesting parts of London. On either top of the tower, you can get a bird's-eye view of the wonderful scenery all round Tower Bridge. On its south side are many tall old buildings. On its north side stands the Tower of London itself. But Tower Bridge, the first bridge over the Thames, as you travel to London from the sea, is the most famous of them all. Although they look the same age, the tower is almost 1,000 years old, and Tower Bridge, which was built in the 1890s, is just over 100. Because of the tall ships up and down the Thames, it was proposed in 1850 that a bridge across the Thames near the tower was most necessary. However, the designers argued about the new bridge for about 30 years. They took so long because they had two big problems. One is that the new bridge must look like the old tower, and the other is that the bridge must not look like a modern bridge. They made it look like the old tower, so everyone was happy. Besides, the most surprising thing about Tower Bridge is that it opens in the middle, while big ships are going through to the Pool of London. If you're lucky enough to see the bridge with its two opening arms high in the air, you'll never forget it. The bridge took 8 years to build and cost £900,000, a lot of money in those days. But it was a wonderful success and became a famous tourist attraction in London on the day when the bridge was completed. 100 years ago, the Thames was once London's busiest traffic route, so that the bridge opened at least 12 times a day. Today, big ships don't go so far up the Thames. Tower Bridge opens perhaps only twice a week, but the same wonderful machinery is still in good condition. Green, yellow and red, the colourful wheels and engines look smart and new, not 100 years old. They still lift the two heavy opening arms, each 1,000 tons, leaving 70 metres for the ships to go through. And they still can open and close the bridge in 1.5 minutes. Things are changing greatly now at Tower Bridge. The horses that used to help with pulling have gone, and so have the tugs, for they're no longer necessary. The walkways from one tower to the other at the top of the bridge were closed years ago because so many people jumped off them into the Thames, which is said to open again soon. In addition, the beautiful wheels will be part of a special exhibition for the public to visit. There'll be a restaurant in one of the towers and a pub in the other. But whatever happens in its exciting future, Tower Bridge will always mean London.
Matching 2.
Listen to a travel agent discussing a holiday booking with two lady customers and then choose from the list of countries the ones which are mentioned in the dialogue, and then match them up with the reasons why the two customers didn't want to go there. First, you have some time to look at the questions. Now, listen to the conversation.
Good morning. Can I help you?
Yes, good morning. We'd like to book a holiday for July, please.
Certainly. Where did you have in mind?
Oh, well, we haven't thought a lot about it, really. We'd just like to go somewhere hot, you know, and it must be in July.
I see. Well, let's get the dates cleared up first, then we can see about availability. What part of July were you thinking of?
Oh, well, you see, we have slightly different holidays. I've got the whole month except for the last 4 days, so I could go from the 1st to the 27th. But my friend here doesn't start until the 7th, so I suppose it will have to be in the middle 2 weeks, really.
Yes, but I've got to be back by the 24th.
OK. Now, let's find a destination. Any preferences? Spain, Greece, Portugal?
Oh, not Spain. We went there last year and it was absolutely packed with teenagers making noise and getting drunk all the time.
Yes, it was terrible. We definitely want somewhere quieter this year.
Well, of course, it depends more on the resort rather than the country. There are resorts in every country which cater for the family or the slightly older person. They're usually a shade more expensive, though, as you might expect.
Oh, well, we don't mind paying a bit more if it means more peace and quiet, do we?
Definitely not. It'd be well worth it.
All right, let's have a look at what we've got on the computer. July. Was it 10 or 14 nights you wanted?
Oh, the fortnight, please.
Right. Well, let's start with Italy. We've got 14 nights bed and breakfast in Sorrento for £345 from Manchester on the 14th. Or we've got...
No, wait a minute. That's no good for me. We wouldn't get back till the 28th, and I've got to be back at work before that.
Ah, yes. How about Opatija? 2 weeks half board.
Where's that?
Yugoslavia, madam. Northern part. Nice little place. That would be £310 from Manchester again.
Yugoslavia? Oh, but I've been told the beaches aren't very nice there.
Well, again, it depends on where you go. In Opatija, they have those big wooden platforms, you know, with sunbeds. So there's no beach as such, but the water is beautifully clean and...
Oh, no. I think we prefer a real beach. You know, I like a bit of sand.
Huh. All right. How about Greece? The Greek islands. We have several holidays there. Spetsa, Kos, departures every Tuesday. And it's quite economical, really, because it's all on a self-catering basis. So?
Oh, what about hotels? We'd prefer to be in a nice hotel, I think. What about you, Kath?
Oh, yes. I can't be bothered with cooking your own meals and all that sort of thing. I like to forget about all that when I go on holiday.
Well, I'm afraid it's all self-catering we do for the Greek islands. How about the mainland? There's a dual centre holiday here, Athens and Delphi, 7 days in each. That would come to...
Oh, just a minute. Isn't it a bit sweltering in Athens at that time of year?
Well, it's not exactly the coldest place in Europe. Let's see. The average temperature in July is 29 centigrade. That's 81 Fahrenheit.
Oh, God, no. I think we'd just die in all that heat. I mean, the coast's bad enough, but in a city...
All right, let's try somewhere else. How about Portugal?
Oh, that sounds great. We've never been there, have we?
Let's see now. We've got 14 nights in Albufeira, half board from Gatwick for £385.
Albufeira? Oh, wait a minute. Did you say the flight was from London?
Oh, well, really, we'd prefer a flight from the north somewhere. Manchester, perhaps. Or even Glasgow.
Right. There's a 12-night holiday in Lagos. That's near Albufeira from Manchester on the 11th. For £455.
Oh, that's a bit pricey, isn't it? Why is it so much more than the other one?
Well, madam, there's a surcharge for the airport, and it's a 5-star hotel.
Oh, well, it's a bit over our budget, really.
Matching 3.
Listen to the following conversation and choose your answers from the box below. There are more words than spaces, so you will not use them all. First, you have some time to read the questions. Now, listen to the conversation. Well, come on then. Let's see what you've bought.
Let me get my coat off first. What a day! The shops are packed and trying to get served is murder. I got most of what I wanted, but I think I'll have to go back up another day for a few more odds and ends.
What is this? A camera?
Yes, I got it for my sister's boyfriend. They're always going off at the weekend, bird watching, and they were saying the other day that they needed a new one. It was incredibly expensive. It put me back £30.50. Can you imagine?
Gosh, those cufflinks are nice. Are they real gold?
Good heavens, no. They're only metal and leather. I thought I'd give them to my father-in-law. He's the only one I know who actually wears cufflinks these days. I thought they were quite a bargain, only £13.60.
Yes. That cocktail shaker looks nice. It's not silver, is it?
No, I'm afraid not. Just metal. I got it for my doctor.
Your doctor?
Yes, I always give her something. It's a tradition. It was quite cheap, only 10 quid.
What else have you got then?
Well, I found this really nice scarf. You'd like it.
Oh, yes. How soft it is. It must be cashmere or something.
I think it's a mixture of wool and silk, actually. I'm going to give it to my mother-in-law. They're her sort of colours.
And what about this toolkit? I suppose that's for Tom, and that old banger he's got.
Well, no, I bought that for my mother, actually. She's always saying she wants one for the car and never gets around to buying one. I'm not surprised. The price it cost.
How much was it? I could do with one myself.
It was £15, I think. Look, there's the label. £15.30.
Gosh.
And then I got this pair of pyjamas. Aren't they wonderful? They're silk, just like the ones in that TV ad. I got them for my brother. Do you think he'll like them?
Wow. I bet they cost a fortune.
Yes. £40.
Well, he'd better like them, hadn't he? I think your budget isn't in the same bracket as mine.
Matching 4.
You will hear a telephone conversation between two people discussing car rental. Look at questions 1 to 11 and fill in the summary with the missing words from the following box. First, you have some time to read the questions. Now, listen to the telephone conversation.
Hello, Hertz Cars.
Good afternoon. Is that Hertz Car Rental?
It is. What can I do for you?
I'd like some information about renting cars in the States, please.
Certainly, madam. What would you like to know?
Well, I just wanted to get some information about how much it costs and so on.
Of course. Well, let me start by asking, are you going by yourself or with someone else? Or with other...
Yes, I'm going with my husband, and we're going with friends, another married couple.
Right, so that's 4 adults, no children or anything.
No, just us.
So you'll be looking at the smaller car range, I should think?
Yes, I suppose so.
Well, the 4 smaller car categories are J and A, both subcompact, then B, compact.
Compact?
Yes, subcompact is something like a Ford Escort. Compact, a Mercury Lynx, for example, and C, mid-size, the size of a Ford Fairmont, that sort of size.
I see. We've got an Escort ourselves, actually, so I know that one. But what's the difference between the others?
Well, you could think about the seating, for example. Category C cars seat 5 adults, but you don't need that, do you? The other 3, J, A and B, seat 4 adults. Then there's luggage capacity to think about. Actually, there's not much difference there. They all hold about the same amount of luggage. Are you travelling with a lot of luggage?
No, just normal.
Well, we don't need to worry about that then. Now, another thing to think about is how many miles per gallon you can get out of the car. The first 3 do 29 miles to the gallon, but Category C only does 22, so you'll be paying more for petrol if you rent that one.
I see.
And in fact, the full tank in Category C cars doesn't last so long. I mean, on a full tank with the first 3 categories, you can do 328 miles, but with Category C it's only 308.
Oh, well, let's forget Category C then. Could we just check that I've understood everything correctly so far? The others all hold 4 adults, have the same luggage space and do, 29 miles per gallon? And you can get 308 miles out of a full tank. Have I got that right?
Yes. No, not 308. 328 miles on a full tank.
Oh, right. 328 miles. Now the important question. What about costs? What do they all cost?
Well, Category J costs £89 per week, Category A £109, and Category B £119.
Right. Oh, what's the difference between J and A, by the way? You said before that they were both subcompact.
Yes, A, which is slightly more expensive, is automatic, whereas J is only manual.
I see. Right, I've got all that. Well, I must go and discuss it with the others, and then I'll get back to you. Thanks for your help. It's been very useful.
Not at all. Glad to be of assistance. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Matching 5.
Listen to a travel agent talking about interesting places to visit in Wales. Match the correct activities and beaches with each place. Some of the choices may be used more than once. First, you have some time to read the questions. Now, listen to the talk. The trouble with a long weekend in Wales is that a long weekend is too short. There just isn't enough weekend for what Wales has to offer. Take the Welsh coastline. Whichever way you like your sand, you'll find it in Wales. For the active, there are surfing beaches all round the coast. At Marlow Sands, at Aberdaron, and particularly at Rhossili Beach on the Gower Peninsula, which offers some of the best surf in Europe. Sailing, too, is widely available with yachting centres such as Tenby in the south, Aberdyfi in mid-Wales, and Abersoch on the Len Peninsula in the north. There are big open beaches and there are small secluded bays and coves. The 6 miles of Pending Sands, for instance, in Carmarthen Bay, are so long and wide that they are frequently used for different kinds of racing events. While Llandwyn Bay, on a southern corner of Anglesey, offers 4 miles of sand and dune and countless vantages for the spectacular view across the bay to Snowdonia. Barrow Bay in the Pembrokeshire National Park is as secluded as they come, and like Munt, a golden sandy beach trapped in a tiny sheltered cove at the southern end of Cardigan Bay, basks in tranquility. And of course, there are many old fishing villages, Llangrannog and Barmouth among them, whose charm has increased as the fleets of ships have declined. These days, you see, the fishing in Wales is much more for pleasure than profit. For sea fishermen, rivers like the Dee and the Usk provide some of the most available salmon fishing in the UK. Is it any wonder that Wales lures fishermen in droves? And is it any wonder that there are hundreds of cosy lake and riverside inns to accommodate them? Wales is teeming with interesting places to stay and interesting things to do.
Don't forget to comment, like, and share our video.